Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. E in the house. Today I'm coming to you from my house. It's my home office. I am going to do a piece today in honor and celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, January 15th, 2018. So today he would have been 89 years old, born in 1929 on this day. And, there's so many reasons why he has to be honored. There's so many reasons why his legacy carries on today, even more so than maybe ever. So, we need more folks like Dr. MLK Jr., who just transformed the civil rights movement. And in fact, under his leadership in the modern American civil rights movement from 1955 to 68, he achieved more progress towards racial equality in America than the previous 350 years. So in 13 years, more movement on the desegregation. For 13 years, this man was able to make more progress than the previous 350 years in United States history. We've got many contributions, and a few of them I've outlined here today. We all know about the I Have a Dream speech. Absolutely an inspiration. Oftentimes I'll go back to that speech just to get a good feeling of how things were in the 60s and prior, and see where we are today and whether we've made any movement towards any kind of equity or equality in the United States. And I'm noticing that here we are in 2018, and we're experiencing a lot of the same difficulties that we had back in the 60s, and the sort of Band-Aid has been pulled off now with the newer administration, talking about getting rid of political correctness, using every kind of profound and awful statement, such as countries he's referring to, and I'm just going to say he, that's 45, as shitholes. This is absolutely egregious, almost comical, as if he's trying to destroy his presidency, which there are some theorists out there that might claim that. I just think he's an awful individual. There's also the Nobel Peace Prize. Come on, how many people have actually been able to claim that title, as well as the letter from a Birmingham jail, which I also go back to read for inspiration, and I think many of you who have not read the transcript of that, it's available all over online. He was also the spokesman for the Montgomery bus boycott, which was infamous in many ways. This was the first time where somebody stepped up in defense of Black Americans being able to move forward and progress in society. We had so many difficulties at the time, riots and such, and therefore leading later to his assassination. So much like John Lennon and other figures who have brought forth change and transformation and peace, we have the very unfortunate difficulty of an ultimate assassination. So the driving force behind the 1963's March on Washington, and being here in Washington, D.C., there's various celebrations for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If we look back to 1963, this was also known as the March for Jobs and Freedom, which is essentially what we're looking at today. In 2018, we also are having great difficulties in the area of economics and equality. So, my charge today is to talk about not only the incredible foundation and inspiration that Dr. Martin Luther King has offered America in his legacy, but also the opportunity for a new generation to step up. I'm a part of Generation X, and as I have developed over my career, I've mentored folks who are millennials, and now entering into the workforce are Generation Z. Generation Z is often not talked about. We're talking about folks after the millennials who have experienced a lot of great difficulties to start out with. Fortunately, they were born in a time where they can research into all of the difficulties prior to their generation. However, unfortunately, there has been a tremendous amount of setup for this generation where they feel as if the state of the world, and particularly I can speak for America at this point, particularly in America, we have a lot of Generation Z individuals who are fighting for things like Martin Luther King did, for racial justice, to turn around injustice, not just racially, but for other movements of social equality, LGBTQ rights, transgender rights. A lot of things that we're seeing in this Trump administration are not a priority, and in fact are being dismantled. So Generation Z is a strong force behind where I see today's problems being solved. I see a lot of Generation Z individuals, even in the public schools, fighting on a grassroots level, growing exponentially and developing sort of skills that they could use in the future to really make a change to this world and to, social justice. We have a great need for leaders. We have a great need for leaders. I did a previous video on mentorship and how to find a good mentor. So, I hope this is a charge to not only find a good mentor, but to consider yourself as a leader. Every day we wake up, we lead ourselves to our own goals, but many of us have these qualities to, go ahead and lead a community or lead a movement. So this is what today's charge is all about. This is what I hope to bring. In the near future, I'm going to be doing a couple more videos, not just on social equality, but the social justice component, where I can give you some steps as to what we can do as a community to move forward, to progress, and make this world a better place. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope you have a wonderful one and a great week. I'll see you soon on Dr. E in the House.